Two girls, no farms. Two girls, no farms. So what did they ask us? How to manage, what did you say in your text to me? You said how to manage a busy schedule to include hobbies and socializing. Okay. Right?
What are we going to call it? Are you going to call it that?
How to... let's see. What are we going to call it? You said how to... What's a fun way to say that? How to manage a busy schedule. I hate the word busy, so... Mm-hmm.
How to, like, because people are like, I'm so busy, I don't have time for anything.
Yeah.
How to make time when you have no time.
Yeah, how to make time when you have no time. Hey!
It's already recording, sweetie.
Fine, yeah. Catch that gem of a moment on film.
Brainstorming.
It's a think tank. That's what's happening right here. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Two Girls.
No Fucks.
Today's topic is...
How to make time when you have no time.
How to make time when you have no time.
When you're so busy that you just don't have time for anything.
I'm so busy. I'm so busy.
You don't like the word busy.
I don't like the word busy, but I want to, and we will talk about that, but this video request topic came from somebody in the comment section.
It did. So if you comment on our videos and you want us to talk about something, we will talk about this.
We will talk about it.
We will talk about it.
Now, before we get started, we have a new segment, which we still haven't found a name for, but it's where I show you the favorite thing that's, my favorite thing that's in Serial Thrifter in the shop right now. So, here it is. It was a bit of a bougie, fancy thing last time.
It was.
Now, it's this vintage, leather, purple, snakeskin, global identity jacket. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this looks like from the 80s.
Look at the back of it.
Sure.
Look at the back of it. Oh.
Early to mid 80s.
She's a gem. Shoulder pads? Yes. Yes, please.
There are.
Now, what I do when there's shoulder pads that I don't want, I will actually just cut into the fabric and pull them out, because who sees the inside of my jacket? I know that's not the best way to do it. If I was a seamstress, things would be different, but I'm not. So.
But shoulder pads are pretty awesome. I feel like
I love shoulder
they
pads.
look great.
Some people don't like shoulder pads, and I respect that.
I don't respect it.
I don't respect. If you don't like shoulder pads, fuck you.
You just gotta keep the garment intact.
You know what I am doing though? I keep all the shoulder pads, not the ones that are inside the shitty foam ones, but like when I get a vintage shirt and there's the shoulder pads inside that I can just snip out and they are matching the shirt fabric, I keep those. I have a bin full of shoulder pads with really cool patterns that I have no fucking clue what I'm going to do with them, but, you know, that's what I like to do. I'm a hoarder.
I was waiting to find out what your project was.
If you've got any ideas,
comment below.
Comment below. Now, yes, we are going to talk about, how we manage our schedules, some tips to manage your schedule, and first and foremost, why I hate the word busy.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah, it's sometimes I feel like people wear the word busy like a badge. Like everybody's got shit going on. And you know what? I want to start by saying it is not better or worse to have more things on the go. Yeah. Some people legit have more things on the go, and that's okay. Doesn't make them more important or better. Some people have less things on the go, and that's okay. It doesn't make them more important or more, in tune with their true selves or anything. Or, it's just different people like to do different things and at different times. But I do hate it when people tell, I'm so busy. I actually, it's hilarious because I think a lot of people, like especially with the shop, sometimes people tell me how busy they are. That's why they can't do X, Y, Z. And I can't help but think.
Yeah, they're using it as like a crutch or an excuse to why they're not punctual or why they didn't hand something in on time or why they didn't get back to you. Using it as an excuse.
Well, because again, this video is in no way promoting like using every second of every day to get shit done, but it is going to give you tips on if you do have a lot of stuff on the go, how to get the things that you need to get done. It is an organization thing. If you're organized, you can get things done. You might have to switch things around, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the word busy I just find is icky. When people ask me like what I have going on, I'll just say like, got things on the go, really exciting. I won't use the word busy. It just makes me ugh.
It doesn't rub you the right way.
It doesn't rub me the right way. It's kind of icky to me. And that's just my 2 cents. Bing bing.
But also because I'm friends with you, it's ingrained in me too that you don't like the word busy, and also that I am conscious of when I use that word too, because we sometimes use it to just brush over or gloss over everything that's going on. And you're just like, how was your day? Oh, it was really busy. Well, that doesn't really say very much. And it doesn't give you, like, any real, like, props for anything that you may have accomplished or done that day. Like, you're not even giving yourself the props. You're just like, it was busy, and I can't. And also, like, it reminds me of the word interesting.
Yeah.
When people say, oh, that was really interesting. It's like, what is that even? What are you... What is that? That doesn't mean... That's not a word that is, like...
Interesting.
It's not a word that people should use to describe things, like, that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not a good word. So busy, I don't think is a great word.
So can you give me an example of somebody using the word interesting in a way that would be like, ooh.
Well, how was the movie? It was really interesting. Or how was the book? It's interesting. Or that was a really interesting show. But it's not...
You want more.
Yeah.
Give me more.
And it's a cheat word. Like, I feel like we use busy and cheat to just get out of conversation, or just because we don't want to, like, dig a little deeper. So, like, I do notice now when people ask me how my day was, and I want to say it was busy because it was busy in the sense of that word, but I also try to, like, recollect a few events that happened.
Yeah.
And break it down, because I think it also, when you say busy, you just kind of, like, you wipe away your whole day.
Yes.
When it's like you're not as present in what's going on in your life if you're just able to, like, blanket it all with one word.
Yeah, I love that. I had never seen it like that. I'm just like, stop using the word busy because it irritates me. But you're like, just like...
Use more words.
Yeah, but I like that because you're right. It kind of does, like, throw... I mean, I don't use the word busy, but I can imagine if I was like, oh, it was just busy, I'm kind of, like, not acknowledging that, like, the gems that took place that day. So let's talk about, like, what kinds of stuff do you balance on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month?
Well, I have quite the schedule.
She's busy.
I actually don't realize it sometimes, and then I was talking to someone the other day just about my day or something, or my week, and I probably used something along the lines of it was really crazy. Like, I actually had a week off from my full-time job. I took a vacation week, but I didn't go anywhere, and someone asked me, like, what I got up to, and I'm like, oh, it was just really chaotic. There was, like, all these things going on. I wasn't in a routine. But then I realized I also am a part-time yoga teacher. I also coach full-time every month, 5 days a week, online fitness camp. And both of those things I didn't take a break from, just my office job.
Yeah.
And yeah, so, like, I'm juggling just those 3 things alone. Plus I work out. Plus I have a dog. Plus I baked cookies. I cooked a shepherd's pie. You know? I do think I got irons.
She's
irons
a mover and a shaker.
I got balls in the air.
She's got balls in the air. I love that.
And I do like that lifestyle personally. Like, I like to be having a lot of things on the go. I'm a big multitasker.
Yeah.
I have a lot of tabs open in my computer window all the time. I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. So I'm used to that. And so managing time is a skill that I think I've fine-tuned over time.
Yeah.
But I do think that the important thing that we're going to talk about today is, sure, you have, like, maybe all your work stuff going on and exercise, and if you have kids and you're doing that sort of thing, you're managing all of that. But how are you managing, like, the
personal
stuff that's
life.
just for yourself?
Yeah.
Like passions, your mental health, things like that.
I love that. That's all stuff that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah. What is your schedule like?
I'm busy. I'm just going to say it all the time. Okay, so I do the marketing for Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yes.
So my territory is anywhere past Ontario to here.
It's a lot of territory. We live in Canada. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a big territory. You know, every event that we do, everything that we put on social media takes a lot of, like, back end, you know, work and planning, which I fucking love. I'm very fortunate. I love everything that I do. Then I run Serial Thrifter, Serial Classy, and Serial Cartel. Those are our 3 online Instagram stores. Along with that comes where I pick up consignment from people and go thrifting. So there's that. I am also a life coach. So I see right now approximately 25 different clients on a regular basis. And so there's that. I manage 11 Instagram accounts. I do work out every day, almost, for my mental health. Very easy to fit that one in because I feel like I'm going to go insane when I don't. So yeah, I hit rock bottom and then I do a workout. So that one comes. It doesn't take any scheduling, I'll tell you that much. I have my relationship. I have my friendships. I meditate. I do a lot of reading especially for life coaching. I like to like read, and I'm also part of the masterclass program, so I do master classes, which is fun.
And you do like personal care, like self-care stuff, like skincare.
A lot of skincare stuff. Yeah, a lot of my morning routine alone is like it actually is a long, because I make celery juice every morning, which is like a process and a half. If you've ever juiced celery, that shit sticks. You gotta be on it. And then there's a whole like half an hour wait and do this and that. So yeah, I mean, and I make time for my friends, which is really important. I try to make time for my friends. We do this podcast. So there's that. So it's a lot of different things. I have to say though, with everything that I have on my plate, and it's not a comparison game, but sometimes somebody will tell me like, oh, I worked 7 days in a row and I'm so stressed out. And I get that. Everybody's different. I just want to say that. I'm pretty fortunate because I haven't had a vacation in years, I can say. And that's okay. I love everything I'm doing, but I don't feel stressed out by my work. So, I mean, ideally you're doing something that you love. But hopefully the tips that we give you today are helpful in terms of if you do have a lot of stuff on the go. And I can't stress this enough. And I'll tell you where this comes from. I'll get people on Instagram sometimes chiming in and telling me like, you don't have to like do all these things all the time. And it's like, thank you. I know. I want to do these things. I don't feel less valid as a human if I'm not doing shit. I just have a lot of shit I want to do and I'm excited. And that doesn't make it better than somebody that just likes to do their 9 to 5, come home, chill. That's also very valid and important. Everybody's different. This video is particularly for people that are trying to balance tons of different stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to fit in more stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like they have no more room.
Yeah. I'm trying right now to fit in ukulele. Because I really want to, like, I love playing the uke. I love playing the uke, and it brings me so much joy. It's really hard because the day will go by and I'm like, damn it, but, maybe
Stuff falls to the wayside sometimes.
It's a balancing act.
It is.
Okay, so what are some of the things that you would like to share?
For me, what's really worked for my kind of lifestyle and routine is having a routine and building around that, slotting stuff in. So I definitely go off of a calendar. We have a calendar on our fridge and we write every month. It's like the best day of my life when I get to like redo the calendar.
Oh, it's exciting. It's like my workout board. Nerd alerts.
So get a calendar if you don't have one already, especially if you have family members or a partner or kids or anything like that, because you can put a lot of events, all your events up there. It takes one kind of thing out of your brain that you don't feel like you have to remember, and like for me that adds to the stress or feeling overwhelmed. So I get it all out on a calendar, like, and that's including like friend commitments, work commitments, like family stuff, just stuff that's coming up that I want to remember, be aware of, birthdays, all that stuff goes onto the calendar.
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that I do. And I actually have, like, I use a physical calendar, I have a work calendar, I have a personal Gmail calendar.
Yeah.
And I use my phone and throw stuff on there too. And so that's one thing that I do.
Scheduling, calendar.
Scheduling. I also I love a list. Nothing is better than a list.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in having lists. You can't remember everything. That's not...
No.
Don't try and be the person that remembers everything.
Don't be that person that's like, oh shit, I forgot. Next time I'll write it down. What the fuck?
Yeah,
did you do the first time?
Everybody has one of these now. And
Don't think you'll remember it in your head. That's bonkers.
Yeah, and I actually just use the Notes app in my phone. But I write a list for specific places I go to, things I want to remember. For example, the grocery store has a list. But if I'm going to a pharmacy, I also have a list of things I want to remember to restock on at the pharmacy. And lists of when I'm going to go shopping, and I know exactly what I'm looking for, and just things like that, or lists of people I need to get gifts for any kind of upcoming thing, birthdays, Christmas, whatever it is.
It's my birthday soon. I'm probably on that list. I'm not trying to...
You are on that list. So those things, I'm not saying it creates more time, but it kind of does, because you're being more efficient.
Yeah.
So you can schedule things around stuff. When you're going into places, you know what you're not wasting time.
Yes.
And you're not forgetting things and having to go back to places and things like that. So I'm just organized in that way. And it feels good. And I kind of use the start of a month as the marker for like, what do I have to get done this month? The big things, the small things.
Yeah. Okay, so calendars and lists. I fucking love a list. I love a list of a list. That's another story.
And actually, me and Jeremy share notes. Like, you can share them on your phone.
Yeah.
So we share lists. So we share an ongoing grocery list. So we each add stuff to it all the time. It's just like organizational stuff. We share a calendar.
I also have a grocery list and all that stuff.
So how I include now, I got all my and I work a 9 to 5. Then I have my online stuff that I do. I teach a yoga class. So how I stay organized and can get all that stuff done is because I do the calendar and I don't overcommit. When you have a calendar and you can see everything that you've got on the calendar, you're not probably going to commit to more than you can handle.
Yeah.
So you know all your weekends are busy this month, and you're not going to commit to adding something more to your weekends.
That's right.
If you can see that your weekends are more free, or you have a Tuesday open, then you can make the time to fit stuff in that way. So just having a visual of what actually is going on in your life is very helpful.
Yeah, I love that. Mm-hmm. I love seeing everything ahead of time. I actually moved from a physical... I resisted. I didn't want to be on the phone because I felt like, oh, I'm already on the phone so much. I'll just have a like old-fashioned calendar. Mm-hmm. And it ended up biting me in the ass eventually because it was just like sometimes I didn't bring the calendar with me. Like, you have to remember to keep that thing on you all the time. Mm-hmm. So I switched to the calendar, and I have to say, I love it.
Like a Gmail calendar or like a...
Just the calendar that's on here.
Nice.
Is it the Gmail calendar?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's like an app.
It's an app, yeah. So my tips for getting shit done. Number 1, set clear goals for all the hats that you wear. So for myself, I know, okay, I have my job with PAPS. I have the shop. I have my life coaching. You know, I'm also now doing a new job with 1964, which is a different company, which is really great. But I know that I want to make time for all those things. And so I make sure that I have a good idea in my head of how much time I want to be spending on all of those things. So that I'm not spending 3 days taking photos, because, you know, taking photos of everything and posting, and then I'm not doing my job with PAPS. And, you know, I have a clear idea in my head of what that looks like and how much time, how I want to divide my time. And that is usually how you get paid. Like, if you're working 25 hours for a company, then figure out, you know, I want to put 25 hours this week into this company. Like, that's for me because I'm, you know, like making my own hours. But if you, you know,
you're freelancing.
If you've got your own work hours, then those are your hours. But if you are freelancing, make sure you understand that.
So yeah, that comes back to also having a calendar where you can slot in all your different, like, you know, your 4 or 5 things that you have on the go.
Yeah.
And I actually color coordinate my stuff.
Next level.
And so I have my yoga class. I just do that 1 day a week because I know that's all I can do. But I want to keep doing it because I need to keep teaching to get better at teaching. So I definitely commit 1 day a week is a class that I'm doing. Yeah. And that's in green. And then I have you on Thursdays because we film. Yeah. For YouTube.
What color are we?
You're red.
Red. Ooh.
And then just there's other things that I have going on. Those are in blue and black and other colors and things like that. But color coordinating stuff is helpful. If you use a phone, just having it all on your phone is great. But yeah, and so I specifically know when I start my scheduling and organizing for the month, all the projects that I have and how I want to organize them and make sure they all have some time up there.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, it's another visual part of it.
I love the color coding. Color coding.
Coordination.
Color coordinating, yeah. My number 2 is to create a daily routine. And my daily routine has, because everything, well, so it goes back to what you were saying, but like, there's things that you need to do every day, and then there's things that you can slot in that come up. So for myself, I have my daily routine. I wake up, I make my celery juice. I know what kind of lotion I want to put on my face. I make tea, I take my collagen, and then I'm like, I check in with I have my system. I like check in with my PBR CRM, which is my customer relationship model. It doesn't matter, but like I make sure that I'm reaching out to at least one of my PBR contacts every day. So I have a list for that. When's the last time I spoke to them? And so, you know, because a lot of my job with PAPS, for example, is, you know, building relationships and keeping those relationships going and knowing which, you know, which club or which event or which skateboarder or which DJ is doing what and what they've got going on. So I want to make sure, because time does, you know, the older we get too, time just like a week will go by and you're like, how did that happen? Yeah. I want to make sure that at least every day I'm reaching out to one, hey, what do you got going on? Any events coming up? All that stuff. I do that in the morning, and then I come downstairs and I log 10 new items for myself for the shop. You know, I like figure out how much I'm going to price them, and then I take 10 photos. So I have that in my phone. Like, that's my daily routine. It's not all of my work, but those are the things that I do every day. I've got like a list, but I go through that daily routine, and then once I'm done, then I move into my calendar, which I use calendars a lot, and I know exactly what I have planned. You know, if you've watched all of our videos, I also work backwards. So if I have a chiropractor appointment, I already know what time I need to be done, my daily routine, so that I can make sure I have enough time to get dressed, get to my appointment, drive there, etc.
Yeah.
So I've got everything in my calendar as well. Mm-hmm. But the daily routine is where is the kind of like the foundation of everything else. And you know, sometimes something will get skipped because whatever, like you need somebody, you know,
life happens.
Yeah, your partner forgets their keys at work, and then you got to go and whatever it is that you got to do. But I find that my daily routine is my foundation, and then I add stuff throughout the day. Yeah.
Same with me. I think you're going to find in this video a lot of talk about lists, schedules, and calendars.
Yeah, and routines.
And so people will be like, oh, I don't want to live my life like that. But trust me, you're already living a life with all of the shit going on in your life. And this is actually just a better way to do it, where you're not going to miss as much. You're not going to feel as overwhelmed. Like you might as well just organize yourself a bit more. Because if you're already a busy person with lots on the go, this is just going to help you.
Yeah.
And I definitely have the daily plan as well. I usually start my day with my office job.
Yeah.
And I have a list of stuff in my day just working from that job that I want to tick off. Like there's certain elements of my job I have to hit every day.
Yeah.
I definitely have per day a workout, and I decide that day where it's going to fit in. If it's going to be at 11 a.m., if it's going to be at 1 a.m. or 1 in the afternoon, generally during my work day.
Yeah. See, this is where we're different. She figures out when she's going to do it. I start crying uncontrollably and decide it's probably time for a workout.
You pick yourself off the ground.
I get really depressed and go into a dark space, and I'm like, well, fuck, time to put my gym clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another part of all of this is just setting yourself up for success. And that's what the list of schedules, the calendars do. Setting alarms on your phone. That's something I do a lot to remind myself of things I have to get done during the day that I might forget.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday I do like a gratitude circle, and it's at 6 a.m. I just have a regular alarm that goes off on Wednesday only, because you can do that now with technology.
Yeah.
For different days, and set reminders, and you can do that for your workout to remind you if you're working at home, to get out of your desk, to go walk around the block, like all these. Just you have the tools available to better organize yourself, the alerts, the notifications.
Yeah. Well, and so with my daily routine, the stuff that I have is actually why don't I just fucking pull it up? Why not? I'm not going to get too detailed here, but let's get into it. But as you decide that something's important to you, I'll give you an example. Like, I wasn't drinking enough water. That's constantly a problem with me. So I bought a big ass bottle of water. And then I still wasn't drinking enough water. So in my morning routine is fill up the big ass bottle of water. Like, I will do this routine religiously because it's like, I know that these are the things I want to be doing every day. And, you know, I said I reach out to one of my PBR accounts. I also I have a list of all my friends on my phone, and I like try and reach out to one person a day. It may sound calculated, but you know, when you're thinking about like, what about my social, you know, what about my friends and all that stuff? Your friends don't need to know that they're on a list, but at the same time, I have their birthdays there, so I can see, when I look it up, I make a list. So every morning I go in and I'm like, okay, who haven't I talked to? And I actually will put, you don't need to get this detailed, but when's the last time I spoke to somebody? So it's kind of like I'm hitting like, you know, if you have a lot of friends,
reconnecting. Yeah.
Sometimes it's just, hey, thinking about you. How's it going? Like, how did that? You'll be like, oh yeah, so and so had, like, if the next person on my list, I know that they had a play, like their kid has a play or whatever. You know what I mean? The kid's graduating or their husband, blah blah blah. Who cares? But I will actually like message one person every day and just, you know, reach out. So that keeps your personal relationships going. But like your list there is such a foundation for everything else, because it's where you put down the things that you realize. If you're being mindful, you're like, fuck, I really want to do more of this, then make it happen.
Yeah, I also, for that, just the social aspect there, in my phone you can have favorites, and I favorite all my family members and like close friends and stuff in there, so that sometimes when I'm just like needing a break from my desk work and stuff like that, I just look at my phone and I'll scroll through my like open messages.
Yeah.
Like through my favorites list, and I'll be like, oh, when's the last time I reached out to my brother? Or when did I check in with my sister? I'm going to call my mom, or I'm going to send you a message. And that's just another way to just have it visually in front of you so that you can remember to connect. Because that's an important part of this whole thing, too, is about making the time to connect with people in your life.
Yes. And my last tip is when you commit to something, stop everything that you're doing and put it in your calendar. It's so easy to be like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for lunch. Let's have this meeting. Yeah, I'm available. And then the phone rings, or like you catch something's happening. You're scrolling through Instagram and you forget.
Yeah.
Make it a habit to like really stop everything out. The world ends for a moment and you fucking punch it into your schedule. It's so important.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times, especially with Serial Thrifter, like, I love the people that shop with us. How many times somebody like, damn it, I totally forgot. Like, I don't understand that. Like, forgetting about something should happen once in a blue moon, not consistently.
No.
And that usually means that you committed to something and you thought you'd remember in your head, which is bonkers to me because I would never be able to do that. If you're that person out there, then kudos. Or it means that you said yes and you made sure that you wanted to write it down, but then you got distracted and you didn't.
Like, at the end of the day, when you forget something, it's your fault you forgot it.
Yeah.
Like, we are in an age where there's so many ways to write it down and remind yourself. And this is what we're trying to tell you. Don't try to remember it all. Don't make commitments to people and make plans and things like that and expect you're going to remember all of that. And you're going to remember 2 weeks ahead when you have like all this other stuff going on before then.
Yes.
Set yourself up for success. Write it down. Mark it in the calendar so then you don't double book. You don't overcommit. And then you're feeling overwhelmed and now you're like, why did I decide to do all these things? And also, just as much as you're slotting in the commitments with friends, with, work, with all that stuff, there needs to be some self-care.
Yes.
And I know you do this, right?
I do.
Do you have specific days that you choose, or is there like a time of the day?
I alternate back and forth. Like, I meditate every morning. Because part of what I try and combine things. So every morning, I sleep on my Beamer mat. A lot of you have heard me talk about my Beamer mat, but I fucking love it. But I also want to do 2 8-minute sessions throughout the day. So I combine in the morning an 8-minute Beamer session with a 10-15-minute meditation. So I do that. I like to take 1 day off a month where this is my routine.
Yes.
Well, it was my routine, but I'm changing it up now. But it was foot massage. Then I would go to the Sunshine Diner. This was all in kits. I put myself in kits purposefully because it was far away from where I work and do all that stuff. So it was kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of like I'm on a vacation. Foot massage, then breakfast at Sunshine Diner.
Yep.
If you've never been to Sunshine Diner, they have an incredible vegetarian breakfast. It's amazing. And then I would go for a massage. A coffee. Just take the day and make sure that I'm not working. The only thing I'll do on that day is post on Serial Thrifter because, honey's got to make her money. But it's really nice to just take a moment. Mm-hmm. And I admittedly am not the best at taking time off.
Same.
But, taking these little moments or going on a little bit of an adventure, that's important, and making time for that. And again, for everybody out there, it's like when you're managing a lot of different things, some things you'll realize, actually, I'm not as passionate about this as I thought, and it'll fall to the wayside. Or you'll recognize, I really want to be doing more of this. For me, it's the ukulele I'd mentioned. I'm trying to work that into my schedule. Realistically, there are still only 24 hours in a day, and 8 of those hours, give or take, are spent sleeping. So it's you really just gotta work with what you have.
Yeah.
But I think the purpose of all of this is to say, with proper scheduling, lists, routines, there are ways to get a lot more done if that's what you're looking to do.
Yeah. And I do, for my online fitness coaching, we do journaling, and meditation is included in the 5 days a week type of scheduling that we do. But it's only for about 5 minutes. And everybody has 5 minutes. Everybody does. As much as you think you don't, we all do. Whether it's get up 5 minutes earlier, stay up 5 minutes later, it's really just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And trust me, when you commit yourself to that 5 minutes of journaling, meditation, kind of like that self-care, having a bath, anything like that, it's going to help you handle all the other things you have going on.
Yeah.
You'll be able to refocus and feel way more confident and able and rejuvenated and energized to manage all the other stuff. If you just are going along with everything that's happening and not taking those steps out to kind of like reset, you're just gonna get swept away and feel like that feeling of being overwhelmed.
Yeah, and it's also, I like to see it as, it's not just a responsibility to yourself, it's a responsibility to others. Mm-hmm. So if you start off each morning meditating, for example, meditation doesn't just keep you calm for the 10 minutes that you're meditating. What meditation does is it teaches your body. It's like when you work out and you get your muscles stronger. It's like when you work out and you get your muscles stronger, you're working in and you're getting your mindfulness stronger.
Yeah.
And when you're meditating, you're teaching your brain to be in the present moment, not get swept away by emotion, not get swept away by your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And then you take that and you carry it into your day with you. And so if you're somebody that's working in a high stress job and you're stressed out all the time and like you're crying at work, I used to cry at work, so no shame. You're crying at work or you're like losing it on people and you're like, oh, and you're not doing all the other things like taking time to get your body moving or taking your time to meditate. You're not putting your best foot forward. You're not presenting the best version of yourself to the world. And really, like, if you're losing it on other people, that is up to you to change that. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't, meditation is free. It's not easy, but it gets easier. And it just takes 10 minutes. It's just really, it's not about that moment. It's about how it changes you as a person. And every time you meditate, you're working that muscle and you're going to get better and better at being calm, collected, cool in moments where you really need to be.
So I would say as a final thought.
Yeah.
Me and Kim both work on mindfulness all the time in our lives. And I think the key to managing a very busy lifestyle or schedule is to be more present in your day-to-day existence.
Yeah.
Because when you're present in what's going on, and that comes from doing some meditation, journaling, taking those steps back, it allows you to see where you could make changes or where you could fit something in, or you realize. Because the other thing is, I just wanted to say is like, I don't think you watch a ton of TV.
I do at night when I get stony. So I smoke weed at night to sleep and to laugh. Two things. But I'll watch TV at night. But that's the other thing too, right? I realized recently that I would sometimes put a show on in the background. And it wasn't serving me. For me, it was giving me anxiety. Yeah. So it's like your daily routine is a living and breathing document. You can change it. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of TV. There's just no time. There's nothing wrong with watching TV. I fucking love TV.
It's not that there's no time, it's that you don't make time.
I don't make the time. Yeah, I mean, if I'm still trying to play the ukulele, then I probably shouldn't be. But you know what? I'll give you an example. When I worked at the bank years ago, I had less going on than I do now. But I remember always telling people how busy I was, and I would actually like lose it on people. And I hadn't learned how to be, because at the end of the day, whatever we're stressing about, and we had talked about this years ago, like whatever you're stressed about, in 2 weeks you're going to be stressed about something different. Yeah. Whether it's money or like, and I'm telling you from experience, like I know what it's like to not have money to pay rent. But we have to trust in ourselves that we always figure it out. We always figure out getting our shit done. And the calmer you can be, I guess that is the final thought. The more mindful and calm you can be, the more you can get done. Again, not saying you need to do a lot of shit in your day, but if you're somebody that likes to do a lot of shit, the best way to do it is with a calm, mindful, intentional like mindset. Because the world is your oyster if you do that. You're not going to have to be stressed out because you can do everything. You can actually sit. I know what it's like to sit in front of a friend that you made a commitment with and you're having coffee and all you can fucking think about is your deadline that you have at work or this or that, and you're not even listening to what they're saying, and you're robbing yourself and the friend from that experience. When you've got everything scheduled, organized, listed, then you know that this time right now is spent, like right now we're doing this podcast. This is about us right now. It's about you. We're here. It doesn't matter what else is going on. It doesn't exist. That's what happens when you meditate.
So the final thought.
The final thought is
that
meditate more.
When you feel your life is overwhelming and you have so much going on and you're super busy, you need to slow it down. And I don't mean like slow down by taking anything away, but being present in that moment. Yeah. Because, for example, when you're rushing around and you forget something in your car and you got to go in your keys and you drop them and then your phone and then you spill your coffee. That's the kind of stuff that happens when you're trying to like do too much. But if you just take a moment in that very moment.
Yeah.
And then you just go one by one and you do each task.
Yeah.
It'll be way more efficient. You're just going to find more time. There's going to be more time.
Time will come out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope this was helpful.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I hope you love lists and calendars now as much as we do.
Yeah. If you are somebody that has a lot on your plate, we would love to hear some of your tips in the comments on how you manage your schedule. You're well-balanced, meaty. Do I want to say meaty? That's gross. No. Without using the B word. But how you manage your time, we would love to hear that.
And if this sparked any ideas of what you would like us to discuss in the next video, comment below because we will do it.
We will do it. Just don't make it weird. But like make it kind of weird.
Yeah, it's fun when it's weird.
We had what was the video we had years ago? A foot fetish.
A foot fetish. It's on our page.
We have a foot fetish video, and
things got weird.
It got weird.
But we liked it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all for now.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Love you.
Bye.
That was good. That is what I say every time. That was good.